following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Hello, y'all, and welcome to this week's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast. I am here, as usual, with the one and only Alpha. What's up, my man?
Yes, sir, back again, once again. We're looking back on the clock, and you know what? As of right now, do you know what today is, Kevin? What today is, K-Double? We are officially not one, but two full days away from the day, the 21st night of September.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, that's the birthday. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, buddy. Getting another year older, brother. Shoot. Getting up there with me. Nah, you ain't. He got years before he catches me. But happy birthday to you, brother. I hope you got some fun stuff planned.
Oh, no. It's not. No, it's not my birthday. It's a reference to the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, my bad.
No, don't worry.
All right. So, okay.
Right.
So, you were talking about big events and on the 21st, and I've got one that comes approximately a month or 40 days after that. And that is the release of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Mandalorian. The world will have something positive to focus on again. Huh?
We'll have one good thing, one light at the end of the tunnel. And you know what, bro? Like, have you seen the full fucking lineup at this point? Like in Compendium now, we're getting Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, a returning Boba Fett. Wait, I'm tripping. Is that Jango?
Yeah.
Jango right. Fett, yeah. A returning Jango Fett. Yeah, and Cal Kestis in his first like live action role because he's coming over from the fucking Fallen Order video game, bro.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Bro. And hey, for all you wrestling fans out there, you know, the boss herself, you know, Miss Sasha Banks, will have a small role in The Mandalorian as well.
I'm hyped to the fucking moon.
Man, I'm trying to get my friend who's staying with me right now, I'm trying to get her hooked on The Mandalorian. I showed her episode 1 last night. We're going to watch a couple of more episodes in the next coming days because I want her prepped and ready for when the new season starts on the 30th.
One of us.
Exactly. This is the way. Now, I'll say, here's the funny thing, though. I heard that the dude who's been playing him through season 1 may no longer be playing The Mandalorian.
Really? Why?
Evidently from the article that I read, right? He was having issues, like he was hot in the suit and just having issues with how he was doing things. He was trying to get the guys at the site where they were shooting to kind of like, you know, let him shoot some scenes with the helmet off, and they were like, no, So he went around the showrunners that were there on set and went above their head to Disney and tried to get Disney to step in on his behalf. And yeah, I guess evidently it led to him walking off the set. But this isn't really that big of a deal because they don't have too many scenes with him with the helmet off.
There's literally only one. That's what I was going to say. Like that is the good and the bad of this. Like they've shown his face, but it has only been once.
Yeah.
So you could walk away with it while you still can if we do have to recast. But that is like, man, we talked about that when the show ended. we literally talked about how that unmasking was probably going to bite them in the ass, and this just might be it.
And I hope they can bring him back. I'm wondering how it's going to be interesting to see how, because from what I heard, he walked out like almost halfway through shooting, or a little over halfway through shooting. So I want to see how they kind of handled the rest of it, or if he ended up coming back. I haven't heard anything about the story otherwise, other than him walking off the set. But we do still have a completed season. I'm hoping that the second season is about to be 10 episodes instead of 8, just like I'm hoping that the next season of Cobra Kai is longer than 10 episodes. As much as I love Cobra Kai, like, come on, you got to give me more than 10. It would be my only complaint, so to speak. But
I
yeah.
agree. Like you know when the first like rumors for Endgame started going around, and they were like, "Oh, Endgame's gonna be 3 hours." It was like, go for it. It was like, shit. Say you fucking won't, bro. It's always best to have more screen time on that shit. And with how good The Mandalorian is, I'm definitely one of the dudes who would sign for a 12 episode season. You know what I mean? Ah, shit. There we go.
All right, yeah.
Hold up, so fix some audio too real quick.
No problem.
There we go. So,
All right.
no, yeah, back to what I was saying, though. No, yeah, please. I'm definitely one of the people that would sign for a 12 episode season of The Mandalorian, traditional style, you know?
You got to realize, I come from an older time. I come from, if you go back and look at the television shows that I used to watch, anything under a 24 episode season was like unheard of. 22 to 25 was the standard. So like 10 and 12 episode seasons are like, why you only give me half the story? Like, you know what I'm saying, from what I grew up watching.
Half a day's work.
Pretty much. You know, so but I understand that people consume TV differently now. You know, so the the seasons are kind of trying to, you know, are kind of changing pace to try to keep up with them. You know, but I don't know. But moving on, next subject we'll talk about is about the one and only Chris Hemsworth, and the fact that he's made it very clear as of right now to Marvel and anybody else that will listen that he plans on playing Thor until there is no more Thor. He plans on being Odinson until there is no more Odinson in the MCU. So Thor: Love and Thunder will not be Chris Hemsworth's final movie in the MCU. But I think him and Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk and Black Widow and then Hawkeye are the only original Avengers left. Right?
Yeah. Of the original first ever crossover movie, yeah. You're right. Because that basically means that Captain America and Iron Man were the two definitely out for sure.
Yeah.
Technically we don't have Black Widow anymore, but we're going to see the Black Widow movie, obviously, so she's still
you got the
a character that we're going to be seeing more of, right?
Right.
That being said, though, like, I'm all for him making a career out of being fucking Thor. It's not like he hasn't made it his shit already. As far as I'm concerned, he is Thor and is going to continue to be, and there wasn't a doubt that he wasn't going to sign again, unlike Spider-Man, who, you know, we have a really set out set of movies. So what's up?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Like, it's one of those type of things where we knew eventually the franchise is going to have to get moved off, but Thor is a character that literally you can place anywhere. Like, seeing Thor not necessarily get his own movie, you know, have Jane Austen get her movie as Thor, but, you know, but have Thor show up in, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You know, have him running around like they ended with Endgame. They ended with him taking off with Quill and you know, Rocket and everybody. I would love to see
Right.
the adventures of Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy. That should be great.
Was no, that wasn't the same director. I'm getting confused. But no, fuck yeah, dude. It fits in perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. The director that's doing Thor: Love and Thunder is the same director that did Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ragnarok. It's Taika Waititi, right?
Yeah. So, like, we're gonna. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a nice, great, fast paced, well written, well done movie. That's what we got out of Ragnarok. So. Ragnarok was one of the best Thor. Was the best Thor movie. I'm sorry, I like Dark World and I love the original Thor. They were great and all, but Ragnarok was by far the best one.
Oh, Ragnarok is on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah. So, we'll say. But let's see. Now, just kind of chipping. Here's what's funny, and I know you're gonna want to shoot me. Maybe I know a lot of you listeners out there are gonna want to shoot me. I'm sad to see it go, but I've never saw an episode. I've never watched The Walking Dead. Not a single episode. 11 seasons it's been on. I literally hung out with a dude on a daily that watched it all the damn time, and I've still never seen an episode.
I'm on the opposite spectrum. When I was in the 5th grade and The Walking Dead started, I have not missed a fucking episode. It started when I was in the 5th grade. I watched the premiere. I watched it when Negan debuted. I watched it when he murdered 2 of my favorite characters, and I'm here up until the fucking end.
Now, don't get me wrong. So, the character Negan I like because I love that actor. I loved him before he was... what was it?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a whole nother level. When he was comedian, when he was Thomas Wayne.
So like, yeah, man, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love me some Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but I don't know. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. I was never once compelled to watch an episode. I started watching the debut episode. Like I want to say, like, it was a weekly. Game of Thrones was weekly, right? Yeah. I want to say, like, it was like a month in after it debuted, and my homeboy's like, you gotta watch the show. I've read the books. They're awesome. Sat down, I want to say about 20 minutes into the first episode, I fell asleep. And I just never gave Game of Thrones a chance after that. Like, I was just like, you know what, this just doesn't interest me. And so Game of Thrones, Walking Dead are 2 series that, no, don't get me wrong. 5 years from now, bro, we'll probably be talking and you'll hear me say, dude, I just started watching Walking Dead. Damn, dude, this show's hella good. But that's just the way I work. It's like there's other things that I'd rather watch right now, and sometimes I don't end up tuning into a series until well after it's over. But congratulations to them on lasting 11 seasons. Not many television shows do. Mr. Robot was a damn good show, and it only lasted 4. Ooh, so congratulations.
Yeah, no, really. You're right. And that is a testament. Like, again, I literally started the show when I was in the 5th grade. And now I am much further into being a full-grown man now, and the show is just now finally ending.
Yep.
I have grown up with this show, much like we've talked about other shows before.
Yep.
So it is cool to see it having lasted that long, and I don't know if you've heard, but don't quote me on this. I believe Daryl is getting a spinoff.
Nice.
Nice. One way, shape, or form, whether it be in the past. I think it is going to be placed in the past, but I believe the most popular character in the form of Daryl is getting his own spin-off show.
I'll even drop another bomb on you. Falling Skies was one of the most well-written and one of the best shows I've seen in a long time, live action. And it only got 5 seasons.
Real shit?
Yeah.
I fucking... Wasn't Breaking Bad around there, too? Isn't Breaking Bad somewhere around that same level?
I would say 5 or 6, yeah. Another show, there's a show that came on TNT. It, once again, only lasted about 4 or 5 seasons, called The Last Ship. Great show. Well written. 5 seasons. Leverage.
Still got that axe.
Oh yeah, Leverage, possibly one of the Leverage is up there with Avatar: The Last Airbender, like just one of the most well-written shows I've ever seen in my life. Great character development, great characters, awesome show. 5 seasons.
God.
So bravo to The Walking Dead for lasting 11 seasons. Like y'all don't understand how rare it is to last 11 seasons in today's television climate, and to be a phenomenon for
be a
most
real fixture.
You know, but I was watching another show that I like. It ended up getting 9 seasons on USA. It was a show called Suits. I brought it up before.
Hey, love that show.
Yeah, we were watching the series finale the other day, and I was telling my friend while we were watching it, because I got her into it the last few seasons of watching it. I told her, I was like, I would have loved to see the spin-off series with Gabriel Maka and Patrick Ross with them working in Seattle. And I would have loved to see a spin-off series with Litt, Williams, Wheeler, and Bennett with that firm and what they would do after Harvey and them left.
There's such a fear in way you have to go about doing spin-offs of such big shows, because every time I think about this stuff, I think of like Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
I think about that, and it's like, just please don't go down that road.
Like, nah, like, do it justice. Like, gotta do it justice. And if you can't, don't do it. That 80s show was a spinoff that just, like, went down the tubes quick. I think it only lasted, like, 4 episodes.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a spinoff of that 70s show and just never came to fruition.
Did not pull the same way.
Yeah. Now, we can talk about successful spinoffs, like Flash is a spinoff of Arrow. A lot of people don't know that. Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers. A lot of people don't know that.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever watched the show Perfect Strangers, the store that Larry and Balky work at, the main characters on Perfect Strangers, or the store where Larry works at, the mother from Family Ties, Family Matters, also worked at that store, and she's a side character on Perfect Strangers, and they spun her off to. And the original, what's funny is I learned this a while back. Originally, the show was supposed to be about her. Like that was the whole spinoff. Is it was supposed to focus on her character and the Winslows. But everybody loved Steve Urkel so much that eventually, by the time it came down to the last few seasons, the show was strictly about Urkel.
Oh shit! No, I remember it now. Oh shit, you're right. I forget that.
Yeah, he was just such a popular character that the writers just began writing more stuff for him, and he eventually just took over the show. Thing. Yeah. And so, but originally, yes, that show was supposed to be about Jo Marie Patton, I think her name is, but she played the mother on Family Matters, and she also was a side character on Perfect Strangers. And
I remember that shit now. You just dug up a deeply repressed fact.
I forget what Mork and Mindy is supposed to be a spinoff of. I forgot. If somebody told me a while back that Mork and Mindy is actually a spinoff of another show.
Real shit?
Yeah, Robin Williams, like first real exposure to America, Mork and Mindy. Yeah, it was a spinoff of another show.
I'm gonna look into that. I got you. I'm gonna look into that shit over time.
Here's one. Here's an old one for you old heads out there listening. The Jeffersons is actually a spinoff from All in the Family. George Jefferson was a character on All in the Family that they spun off to his own sitcom, The Jeffersons.
Happy Days.
What?
Happy Days was a spinoff from Mork and Mindy.
Oh, Happy Days was a spinoff from Mork and Mindy. Sorry. Now,
or no, the other way around.
Sorry, yes. Sorry. Mork and Mindy was a spinoff from Happy Days. Which makes no sense because I don't remember either character in being involved in Happy Days, but there you go.
I'm fucking now, goddamn.
Yeah.
Some good shit though.
Yeah.
Good little fun fact. I dig that shit.
So those are just little
All right.
factoids for you guys there that if you didn't know, like like a lot of people, like everybody knows, like the basic ones, like A Different World is a spinoff of the Cosby Show. It was
Yeah.
the second eldest daughter, Denise, getting her own spinoff show. Was A Different World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one wasn't as subtle at all.
Yeah, that one wasn't as subtle at all. It was kind of obvious considering they kept crossing back and forth. But yeah,
Yeah.
like hopefully one day we'll get Arrow and the Canaries. CW says it's still in the works. We'll see.
I think it'll happen. I think Arrow is way too big of a big thing for the CW.
Yeah.
And then the writers of the CW not to cash that in and move forward with the characters that they still have with that.
Amen. All right, boss. So before we dive into, our two verses for today, let's talk about this Legend of Korra, brother. This season 2.
That.
Like,
all right, real quick.
If Anon wasn't as bad, when it wasn't that bad of a villain, let's get to the season 2, dude.
Oh, fuck, right. Real quick, before we really get into it,
Yeah.
I didn't really even get to talk about it when we did the season 1 review. But the end of season 1, where, spoiler alert, since, we're already talking about season 2 here, where he just commits double suicide with his brother via pulling the cap off of the oil tank in the boat
Yeah.
and using firebending to electrocute it, was the most fucked up shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a master stroke in writing. It
Yes.
was a fucking master stroke. But no, that shit hurt. The deafening silence of it'll just be like old times. And then zap, boom.
Maybe not. Like, no, man, like, once again, I go back to what I was originally saying about Korra last week. Korra is made for an older audience. Period. It just is. Like, Korra's not meant to relate to 10 and 11-year-olds. It's meant to relate to 15, 16-year-old people or grown adults who've been through what she's going through, who understand what she's going through, and can in a sense relate. Korra is so well written. Only thing I don't like, and I will agree with this one comment that I made, and it really does come through in season 2 as well. She leans a little too much on the Avatar state.
Yeah.
For being as badass of a bender as she is when she's not in the Avatar state, she leans on it a little too much.
Yeah. I'll take that criticism. I'll take that one because, in most fights you see her like she'll put up some offense, and then the very second she gets knocked down, she'll go Avatar state and she'll tap right into it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't consider, a lot of people like considering the end of it when Vatu is just smacking the shit out of Rava and just starts severing the connections.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, that was a nerf to her," like, but she used it after her. So I wouldn't. She used Avatar State straight after that, straight after the fact. So I wouldn't consider it that.
Yeah, no.
So that is fair. She does rely on that a bit too much. But sorry, go on.
I will give them this. Season 2 did something that they never did in any season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because the focus of the entire series was on Aang. They explored the first Avatar in season 2 of Korra, and that the story of Wan was amazing.
Fucking
you know what
perfect.
I'm saying? Like, and then the fact that he basically, like, I love the fact that they gave it more depth by giving you this reasoning. They didn't just say, "Hey, look." He didn't just walk up and go, "Hey, yo, look, like what's her name, Vala, the good spirit." He didn't, "Yo, Vala, like, come on, baby, we got to merge here, baby. We got to make this happen. Come on, baby, come on, let's do this. Like, I just want to take over the world." Nah, like, dude was like, look, like he was like, "Look, I got this plan, right? And like every turtle gives you some bending, and I want all the bending." And she's like, "Well, you can't do that. Human bodies ain't made for being able to do that." Well, guess what? That's where you come in. You know, like that ain't that. You know, that's kind of super paraphrasing. But basically, that was basically the thing was like the dude wanted all four bending powers so that he could learn to help with the spirits. And man, they gave you so much depth to the existence of the Avatar and why the Avatar needed to be here that it made that battle at the end of it even that much more epic. And as far as I'm concerned, every season that I watch this show, Bolin becomes just more and more the man. Bolin is the dude. Okay, like every major fight scene, he out there with his little whatchamacallit, and I ain't gonna give away season because I just finished season 3, so I ain't gonna give away to nobody. We'll talk season 3 next week. But Bolin learned some special shit that I was like, my dog, every season, Bolin, baby. But Bolin out there with his little earthbending, just, no, gotta help the Avatar, and every season, the dude just becomes my dude. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bolin's my dog right there.
It's weird because, like, Korra is presented in amazing depth, but you see these unbelievably relatable reactions out of Bolin. Like, it hit really fucking hard when he had before he had saved the president, and he was talking with Asami out there, and he was like, I have everything, but nobody's here, so it's all hollow.
Yeah.
And that attention to detail of the fact that they really haven't been together for long, especially in comparison to season 1, was something that I wasn't even able to catch up to that fucking point. And it hit me from like the side of the head. Like that's a really human fucking timed reaction there. And I really dug that shit.
And even I would say if you want to talk about the writing, you even go as far as Mako and how he kind of responds to him and Korra breaking up, where he just kind of completely dives himself into being a detective. Like everything's about work, everything's about solving the next case, and like once again, that's a very human reaction. You go through something emotional over here, and so you just double focus, hyper focus on work. And you're waiting for the next project or the next thing to come up, and every character in this show is even if you want to go as far as Toph's daughters, they're written in a very human manner. Like, oh man, and metal bending.
I'm sorry, bro.
Shit, man.
Chief Beifong is one of the best fucking characters ever. Like straight up,
Big
Chief
time.
Beifong is the dopest fucking shit.
She don't take no shit from nobody, no time. And let me tell you. I'll tell you this, and I'll go into further detail next week when we discuss season 3. But by the end of season 3, Boomy was one of my favorite characters too.
Hey, yeah, no, it's as season 2 comes to an end, you get this big focus on Boomy, and it didn't even hit me until after it had happened. It's the whole running gag with Boomy is that every single fucking story he said all along is completely true.
Yep.
Except he doesn't add in the fact that all of those have happened purely by accident and by fumbling. I like to think about it like if you were to look at someone's stats, right? Like if you play Fallout, you got the special chart.
Yeah.
Like Tenzin's got like an 8 in intelligence, like a 7 in strength.
Yeah.
Boomy is like 0 intelligence, 10 luck.
Yeah, exactly. He's Domino. I just got done watching Deadpool 2 again. Luck is not a superpower. Yes, it is. But no. But yeah, man. And it is like Boomy's. Boomy, like you said, Boomy's that guy, and you come to figure out that all of Boomy's stories are true, but they just didn't quite go the way that he did it. But while speaking of Boomy, I saw a thing where somebody wrote this fan fiction, right, of a scene for an Avatar, or for an Avatar series, right, where basically it's showing the years in between, and basically let me take a moment real quick to set up this whole scene. They talk about how off in the distance it's Katara training Kay, or wasn't it? Is Kay or Tay?
Kaya.
Kaya, sorry, Kaya. Katara training Kaya, and Aang's over there training Tenzin, right? And Bumi's just kind of sitting there, right, looking all sad, wishing he could spend some time with his family, right? He goes and up approaches Uncle Sokka, who sits down with him and starts to talk with him. And he's like, yeah, I know how it feels, to be the only one in your family who can't bend. I know how it feels to feel like an outsider, to want to feel like you can contribute. And he just kind of talks him up, and he starts telling him about, Sokka starts telling him about some of the adventures that he's had. And he starts telling him about Boomerang and sword, and his sword. And he's like, really? Man. You held? He's like, yeah, man. He goes, you want me to teach you my bending? He's like, you know how to bend? He's like, yeah, I know how to bend my boomerang, and I know how to bend this sword. And he's like, but you got to start with a good fighting stance. And it just goes into this whole thing about how as Aang's training Tenzin and Katara's training Kaya, Sokka's training Bumi.
Oh, my fucking heart.
And I was just like, that's such a beautiful scene, man. Like, it just...
the thought I've ever heard.
You did. Like, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like, man, like, you think about it, that's the way it could have, that's something that you could see it going like that. And when you truly think about the adventures that Bumi has had and the way he describes things, wouldn't it make sense that he was trained by Sokka?
It would. The whole idea of Sokka was winning by fumbling.
Pretty much. By just lucking into shit and knowing what to do once you got there. Like pretty much that was Sokka's whole thing through all of Avatar. Is he would fumble into a good place and then just knew what to do once he got there. But overall, yeah, like Sokka, that whole scene just blew my mind. But Bumi as a character, like I said, you grow to love him throughout. Like I said, by the end of season 3, if you don't love Bumi, something's wrong with you. Because most of season 3 is about seeing Bumi for truly who he is, and realizing that a lot of people underestimate Bumi. I loved him from the moment they told me his name because Bumi was one of my favorite characters in the original Avatar.
No, yeah, exactly. The very second that I was like, oh, that's Uncle Bumi, I was like, oh, that's fucking painful.
And so like. Oh no, dude! Did you catch the scene? I think it was in season 2. It may have been in season 3. I may be jumping ahead on you here, but where they say that the oh yeah, I think it is in season 3 where they talk about the queen, the Earth Queen, and she's the daughter of the Earth King, and she said, and they go, oh, if you think she's mean, you should have seen what she did to her dad's bear, and I was like, no, not the bear. Oh, I like the bear.
The whole thing.
The Earth King and his bear.
Why punish the bear?
Don't punish the bear. But needless to say, yeah.
That's it. Like, the Dark Souls, to bridge it as a reference, like Dark Souls does this thing where later on in the series they will reference really important past characters under pseudonyms because the games take place like 1,000 years apart. Mm. And so, like, having to piece that together as a fan is always one of the coolest fucking things. So seeing those little in-references all throughout Season 2 is really cool. Like, discovering that the biggest bridge in Republic City is called Kyoshi Bridge.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny about it is The Legend of Korra is its own series while being this complete homage to the original Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's its own grown-up series, but at the same time, you just see all these Easter eggs and references back to the original series. Go ahead.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. I see a lot of people who look at this show and they're like, it's a bastardization of what the Avatar: The Last Airbender presented. And it's like, how? Every character that was important in the Avatar: The Last Airbender is just as, if not even more important within the confines of the world of Korra.
Yeah.
And I can see where someone would dislike Korra in a few ways, because there is a few times where she just straight up just acts angrily and frustrated and takes that on everyone, and it's hard to enjoy and relate to a character that's so easily angered sometimes. But for the most part, the rest of the cast is as well written and relatable as it gets. All of them have believable fuck ups and failures, and Korra has a lot of believable fuck ups and failures.
Well, here's
but go ahead.
Oh, let's say here's just on that note of what you were saying about what people don't like about Korra. What I find people don't like about Korra has more to do with the more human things about Korra are what people seem to have an issue with. And I think it has more so to do with the fact that people don't want to see themselves in a character, especially if that character is flawed. They want to see the good in themselves. Like, everybody wants to see themselves in Superman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to see themselves in Batman. But nobody wants to see themselves in the Joker. And he's actually the more relatable character of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel what I'm saying?
And of course, that's done on purpose with especially this year's version of the movie.
Right.
It's to put that into perspective, right?
You know, exactly. Like, but I tell people, and I've said this before on the show, Thanos. Like, I didn't disagree with what he was trying to do. Like, I didn't. As much as I was like, okay, Avengers, stop him. Like, I get it. You're the superheroes. He's the bad guy. You got to stop him. I didn't disagree with what Thanos was trying to do. And so it's like, does that make me an asshole? Like, I understand what he's saying. There's not enough resources and way too many people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's literally like you watch a character end up being the last of his race and expect to despise him for being obsessed with death as an idea and a symbol, when, in a sense, that's all he has left.
Mm-hmm. He's just waiting on it. But so getting to that, that's what also made the characters, a lot of the villain characters in Korra, relatable.
Exactly.
To an extent, like, I was watching something that put a little spin on some of the villains, and so we'll deal with the first two. I believe Erlak was the villain in season 2, right? The Bloodbender.
What was it again? Was it? Yeah, the Bloodbender. Oh wait, for season 2. Yeah, that was Korra's uncle, I believe.
Erlak, right?
If I'm not mistaken. No, what was it?
No.
Was it? Let me see. Of course it's Vatu. But yeah, I'm looking it up too.
Let's see.
Of course. The guy who absorbed Vatu and became big crazy motherfucker at the end.
Yeah.
Her uncle and the guy who falsely banished her father. Shit, what was it?
I want to say, like I said, Urlak.
Was it? Was it Urlak? Wasn't that Amon's real name?
I think so. Yeah, that may have been. You may be right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Amon's real name. Let me see. Swear to God, a couple geniuses, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, Unalak was the Unalak. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you. This is out of the this is out of the Avatar State group that I'm in by a young gentleman named Christopher Sainville. Okay, he goes, watching Legend of Korra has made me realize that Amon wanted nothing but true equality between benders and non-benders. He felt that he could accomplish that by equalizing the benders, taking their bending away. I'm only going to go with season 1 and season 2 because that's all we've discussed. But he goes, Unalak wanted the spirits and the human race to live together in peace and harmony. He felt he could accomplish that by manipulating Korra and into opening the portals and freeing Vatu. Now, season 3 was Zahir, and I haven't even gotten to season 4 yet with Kovara. But it puts an interesting spin on it when you think about it like that. Instead of seeing Amon as this evil guy who just wanted to take away Bender's bending because he was jealous, seeing him as somebody who wanted equality through forced equality. Either we're all benders or none of us is benders. Is a different way of looking at that situation that makes you kind of relate to him a little bit more than you would initially.
Yeah. Like Amon as a character is very good at hitting that role of villain where he's not an anti-hero. He's very clearly deluded and violent in his intentions and movements, right? But then you read the backstory and you look into it and it's like, well, he's only literally seen the worst side of bending. Yeah. What is the worst, most fucked up, most unforgivable form of bending imaginable? Fucking blood bending. Yeah. What was the only singular form of bending that he was exposed to for a very long time? Blood bending.
Yep. And was forced to do
you
it.
Think about it. Exactly. And even then, he was forced to do it. Yep. So at that point, you're probably not going to have the best view, and it's all he's seen. And not saying any of that shit was right, but given the circumstances, that's a good way to go about creating a villain. You know what I mean?
Have them start out from a place, have them start out from being pushed to a place of positivity. But if you watch most villains feel like they're doing the right thing. There are very few villains that are like the Joker, that are chaos for chaos sake villains. Most villains,
aware of it being chaotic and bad. Yeah.
Right. Most villains have a goal, have a path that they're trying to follow, and they feel they're on a righteous path. Not all are religious, but all of them feel like they're on a righteous path.
Mm-hmm.
Unalaq as well. He just wanted to open up the bridge between the spirit world and the human world, but without realizing that there was a reason why that had been closed off.
Mm-hmm.
At the time there was a reason. Now I do agree with Korra's decision at the end of it all to basically leave it open. And allow humans in the spirit world to live, together. And when it comes season 3, and we'll talk about that next week, it wasn't necessarily in harmony, but they did live together. So, but we'll get to
I just kind of like that real quick, that one neutralizing Vatu just like sort of instantly reminded how Aang was like, I don't need to kill Ozai to succeed. Boop.
Yep. Ding. You know what? And you know what was hilarious is I thought at first it was going to be a really old Ozai. I thought Anan was going to end up being a really old Ozai.
Oh god, that would have been fucking dope.
Who just learned how to take away other people's bending, and so he was just doing it just to be vicious, because his was taken away. Yeah.
But seeing Commander Zhao in the mist of fallen souls or whatever, of lost souls, that was the dopest fucking shit.
That
and
was
how he
hella
grabs
dope.
Tenzin, and he's like, you're Aang, but you grew up, and oh no, that shit was the dopest. I fucking screamed. That was so cool.
Once again, how you can look at this and not see, how you can watch Legend of Korra and not see it as one big opus to Avatar: The Last Airbender is beyond me. Like all the little references, all those little things, without ever necessarily duplicating anything, and bringing all these new elements into the show. It was just, anyway. Even though, like I said, I personally would have rather have gotten those missing years, a show about those missing years first, at least a season or two before Korra. But I like Korra for what it is, and I'm not going to sit here and ever say that it's a bad show, because it's well written. It's very well written. The character development is very similar to that of Avatar: The Last Airbender, including with Korra.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm having a grand fucking time watching it all over again. It's a lot better now that I'm older, and I can definitely understand it a lot better.
Relate to
and
it, for sure.
There is one single thing you cannot dispute about this show, at very least. There's just one thing that is irrefutable. The show looks fucking great.
The fight scenes are amazing.
Yeah, like aesthetically, it looks fucking perfect.
My daughter brought up something when we were watching the final fight scene in season 2. She goes, "Daddy," I'm like, "Yeah. How come the bad guy always only bends one?" And I was like, "One what?" She's like, "They always only like he only bends water." And I thought about it. I was like, dating back to the original Avatar series, every person that the Avatar faced off against could only bend one. The Avatar very rarely ever faces off against somebody who can bend um, multiple things.
Yeah, I think that was the explanation of Vatu needing to be in there for the first Avatar. I mean, not Vatu, Rava. And I did like that because there was always the question, like, why doesn't the villain just start bending everything too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, because the spirit of Rava, because the Avatar is the spirit of Rava and the soul of the Avatar mixed together as one.
Yeah.
Rava being there is the only reason that their body can even stand being able to use multiple bendings at once.
Now,
otherwise, they would be fucking explodiated. So what's up?
Now, what I like about Legend of Korra 2 is what it's expanded on is that it's expanded that notion to say that, yes, if you bend earth, then you just bend earth. You can't bend earth and fire. But, unless you're the Avatar, but you can bend earth and bend metal and bend lava and bend, you know what I'm saying? Like there's still a tree that you can walk. You know, you can bend water. You may only be able to bend water, but you can also bend ice. You can also eventually blood bend. You know, so it's like every single one has this tree, but you're not allowed to go outside of the tree into another branch unless you're the Avatar. And that's what I love about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh no, because if you notice, Bei Fong,
yeah,
she can metal bend and she can earth bend.
Yeah.
So
that does make me realize something. Like adding on to what your daughter said.
Yeah.
Every villain also has a special outbranching style of the bending that they're using.
Yeah.
Azula had lightning.
Yeah.
The councilman in season 1 of Korra had bloodbending, but he also used ice, didn't he? And then, shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Nice. That's fucking
you can bend everything within your tree, but you can't jump. But and yeah, it didn't hit me honestly until I was watching season 3, and I realized that the Avatar had to learn how to metal bend. Like I'm like, why would the Avatar? Like part of my brain went, why the hell would the Avatar need to learn to metal bend? But then I thought about it. The Avatar's only been taught the basics of earth, fire, water, and air. She hasn't been taught any of the branches. But I would love, this is where I would love to see the series of the next Avatar, where they take it to that next level, where now not only can the Avatar bend earth, air, fire, and water, but the Avatar can now also bend lightning. The Avatar can now also bend metal. The Avatar can now also bend lava. You know, like give me some of that. You know, give me that Avatar. That's the guy I want to see. But Legend of Korra expounds so much on Legend of Korra. To me, is what Clone Wars is to the Star Wars movie series. It expanded the Avatar universe.
Has a lot more context.
You know, and adds a lot. It even brings like after I finish season 4, I'm going to go back and watch the first 3 seasons, the 3 seasons of Avatar, because I'm pretty sure there'll be other things that I didn't catch that I'll catch this time around because I've watched Korra.
I'll pick up some new shit. Watch.
Yeah, there's some symmetry to it. I can almost guarantee you. May not be purposely like that, but good writers, there will be symmetry to it. All right, so before we end up, we got about 10 minutes left in this hour. All right, so first, let's see, PS5 versus Xbox. Have you pre-ordered yours for starters?
I haven't pre-ordered, but I do have my choice. I do have my set, and I do have my plan.
Okay. And what is your plan, sir? Reveal to the
All
world
right.
where you're going with yours.
All right, look, I'm not a genius. I'm not someone who has like not my word is not gospel. But I say this as someone who has spent his entire life, beginning to end, and I'm going to continue to, playing video games fucking religiously. And if you're going to listen to anything I say ever, be careful when you buy a Model 1 console of the new generation.
Amen.
Model 1s are always notoriously very fucking shoddy and a big fucking gamble. If I could say anything to anyone, regardless of whether you're buying yourself a Series X, if you're buying yourself a Scarlet, if you're getting a PSI, if you're getting the fucking NVIDIA or some shit, do not buy Model 1. Save yourself the money. Wait like 8 months, even to a year. Wait till Model 2s, and then put your money down, because that's when you're going to get a good, better working console. Because Model 1s are a risk. Now, that being said, I'm going to wait myself a nice minute. I'm going to cop myself a PS5. Because the X and the Microsoft line of products is like a Ferrari. Like they're trying to market to you the Ferrari of consoles, and I'm looking for something, not a Ferrari. I'm looking for a family fucking console. Don't get me wrong. The Xbox Series X is practically a small PC with the Xbox logo stamped on it, and will run as such.
Yeah.
Meaning it's going to run fucking great. But Xbox and Microsoft has always had this one thing from me that they don't have. Especially that I've realized now that I've moved my happy ass to the PS4 as my main console, even though I have both, and I'm probably going to get an Xbox X and a PS5 at the same time. Anyways, but I'm going to get myself a PS5 first because of the exclusives.
Yeah.
Like, the very moment that they were like, all right, we're going to have Demon's Souls as a launch. All PS4 games are going to be backwards compatible. We're going to be having fucking a new little Big Planet is launching.
Nice.
To bring up the news that I talked about before, a new God of War is coming out, a sequel to the Norse one that we had a few years back now.
I believe it's called Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. God, I'm shaking already. But all of those exclusives, those lineups, I usually prefer their internet system as well, because Microsoft actually runs off of Windows because it's bought by Sony. I mean, because it's bought by Microsoft, of course. Yeah. Sony runs off of their own internet platform.
Nice.
But the very moment they were like, yeah, we're giving you Demon's Souls at launch, I was like, all right, shit, you got my money.
Well, okay. Now, for me, I'm going to tell you this. Like I told you when we were off air, I'm going to say this. Component-wise, when you put them side by side, unfortunately for Sony, and it's the first time I've been able to say this in two generations of consoles, Xbox has the better system component-wise. Like he said, it's a small PC with the Xbox logo slapped on the outside. Okay, now that being said, like Alpha said himself, I will eventually own both. But I'm coming at it with a specific game plan. And unfortunately, I'll be the opposite of him, and I'll actually be looking to get my Xbox first. And I'll probably get my Xbox somewhere around my birthday this year, November, depending on how my money goes. And then I'll invest in the PS5 when I get my taxes back next year. Here's another reason as well. First and foremost, I'm perfectly happy with my PS4 and my Xbox, so I could wait. And I probably will wait, to be honest with you. Unless there's some Black Friday deal that's just so fucking amazing on Amazon or something, like I can get an Xbox Series X for like $199 with a game, like, I don't fucking know, like some ridiculous shit like that. Then I might go ahead and get it.
And I implore you to get that steal.
Yeah. So, but I might take it. But if not, then you're right. I might wait until January, February, and purchase them both at the same time when I get my taxes back. But when I buy them, I'm planning on getting the Xbox X because the Series S is the one that's all digital, right?
Yeah. No, that's the one with no fucking disc. Which,
right.
Don't get me wrong, it's fucking awesome.
Right. But people got to understand there's tiers to it. Both systems have their versions that come with the disc drive built in. They are going for $4.99, and then PlayStation's non-disc version is $3.99. Xbox's is $2.99. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end up getting the Xbox Series X, which is the one with the disc drive for the Xbox one. But first, I got to find out if the games are reverse compatible with the Xbox One. I believe they are, but just with the one. They don't go back further than that.
Yeah.
But for the PlayStation, because I already own so many digital copies of PS4 games, I'm probably going to go on ahead and buy the non-disc version of the PlayStation. Because the only issue that I have with it is that I believe standard it comes with like a 5 or 800 gigabyte hard drive, and that's disappointing to me. For both
that
Xbox,
is a really fucking small drive, dude.
Exactly. For Xbox and PlayStation, it's like that. It's like they're like 5 to 750 gigabyte hard drives. If you guys are going to give us a digital only, you could at least give us an internal hard drive of 2 terabytes and no less.
That is, I've talked about it a little bit on the show before, but you probably heard me and my screaming about how small the battery size is, especially for the early models of the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yeah.
The memory unit is fucking abysmal. I swear to God, I had like 6 games and my shit was full. At that point, that was when I switched over and I bought my my slim model with a 1 terabyte hard drive. My family, who has a Model 1, actually had to go buy an 8 terabyte fucking hard drive because the memory bit was so low.
Yep, and basically that's effectively what I did with my PS4. Is that my PS4 has a 500 gigabyte hard drive in it. I bought the base model because that was the cheapest one I could get, but I bought a 5 terabyte external. So that's why, and that's another thing. This is what me and Saint were talking about when we were talking about it the other day. Is when I do buy my PS5, I better be able to just unplug my 5 terabyte and plug it into my PS5 and start playing my games on my PS5.
Oh yeah, those are the same plugs. I believe those work. If you, I don't know if you know, but the plugs for the PS4 and the PS3 in terms of charging remotes and moving things in and out plug-wise are the same exact shit.
Okay.
So I'm in belief that it's going to be the same way with the PS5.
All right. So yeah, so as long as I can do that, then I'll be perfectly happy with getting a PS5 without a disc drive because I don't plan on buying. I'm already buying most of my stuff. I go onto the PS5. I go onto the PS store just to look for shit to buy that's under $10. Just fuck it. I can pick up another 3 games. But I still got like 3 terabytes left on there.
Good shit.
So, but yeah,
shit there too.
So I'm just like you. I'll probably own both, but I'm going to go Xbox first and then PS5 as opposed to vice versa, which is what you're doing.
Cool. Well, we'll mirror that shit over the show then. We'll keep everyone updated as that goes along.
For sure. All right, so last question for the first hour of the show here. I saw this in my comics call to action. Decided I'd discuss it with my good friend Alpha here. It was a versus that saw Goku taking on the Dark Knight Batman with prep time. Now, some may ask, which version of Goku? You know, are we talking Super Saiyan 5 Goku? Are we talking Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Are we talking about just Super Saiyan Goku? Like, I say the newest version of Goku that's out there versus Batman with prep time. So, take it away.
All right, that's Super Saiyan Blue or Red. That's probably where we're at then in terms of power then. So Super Saiyan Blue, God Super Saiyan level. So immediately he finishes asking me this question, and like not even a full half second in, I was immediately like, all right, how much prep time does the Bat have? because that changes fucking everything.
Yeah, it does.
And you know what? I'm probably gonna piss someone off because I'm always on this side of this debate. But I go through the chain hierarchy theory. And what I mean by that is I am a staunch, die on this fucking hill believer that Superman can beat Goku.
Okay.
And so, if Batman can beat Superman with enough preparation, that must mean, in my opinion, that he can beat Goku with enough preparation if he can beat Superman. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. No, the relation makes sense.
Yeah, that's how I think about it. But thinking about it in the same way, I know Goku is also the type to be like, I'll give you more time because I know I want you to be stronger.
And that's exactly where I was going to go with my side of the debate. Is that, look, man, like, we've had this discussion before, like, with Goku versus Thanos. Like, Goku would want Thanos to have every one of the Infinity Gems just so he could beat him, at his strongest. Like,
right.
we've talked about the fact that the type of competitor that Goku is. Not to mention the fact that it's been proven time and time again, effectively, that Goku has access to an unlimited amount of power. Which means if he needs to be stronger, he can be stronger. So whatever version of Goku Batman was prepared for, there's probably another 5 or 7 levels above that that Goku hasn't even reached yet. Like that's the only issue I have with in any way easily putting anybody over Goku. Is that Goku can expand his power as far out as he needs to get. Now, does that mean that Goku's like the battle against Superman? Does that mean that Goku's not going to get his ass beat initially by Superman? But we know Superman doesn't kill, so Superman's going to beat Goku's ass. Same thing with Batman. Batman's going to beat Goku's ass. Think it's over. Goku's going to go lay in some hyperbolic cocaine chamber, eat a sensu bean, and come back 6 times stronger. and repeat cycle until he's too powerful for Batman or Superman to beat.
You got to go about it Century versus World War Hulk style. You have to think about it like, yeah, Batman can win, but he's got to do it in one fucking shot.
Yeah, Batman can win. Don't get me wrong. I believe that Batman and Superman can win many battles against Goku. But they would never win the war. Because at some point, Goku's going to come back and he's just going to be too damn strong.
That does shit, because then it's like, I was going to say, like, they've been able to beat Doomsday, who pretty much had the same sort of gimmick when you think about it, right?
Yeah, true.
But then it's like, well, shit. Exactly. Doomsday's gimmick, if you kill him, he comes back again, even invincible to what you killed him with.
Yeah.
But then, I was going to use that as a point, but then I remembered that Doomsday's first appearance was coming up and then murdering the whole Justice League with his pinky finger.
Yeah, true. And it just, like I said, it's not that. It really, with Goku, I thought he was limited because everybody's like, yeah, Gohan's stronger than Goku, and then and then new episodes came out, and I was like, no, he's not. And then they were like, Future Trunks is stronger than Goku. No, he's not. Everybody that they kept saying. And then I watched the entire Boo series. This dude, Boo, is about to whip everybody's ass. They came with him, and here come Goku and Vegeta. What? God damn. and then that's another thing. Is just think about it like this. Is you whip Goku's ass enough times, eventually he's just going to go back and fuse with Vegeta. And power up.
Go Gogito.
You know what I'm saying? This is the only problem with it. Is that they wrote Goku as almost an unbeatable character. You would literally have to kill him in that initial battle. And that's where I say the major flaw comes in with Superman and Batman. Is neither one of them want to kill. But you would have to kill him in that first one in order to guarantee that he doesn't come back 6 times stronger and then keep coming back and coming back.
That's true. Every single version that I've seen of this always comes down to Superman just has to end it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Before he can ramp it up.
Yep.
And it does make me think a lot of an X-Men named Darwin, which is a really, 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 really underground X-Men. And his whole gimmick, because his name was Darwin, was that he was really powerful because he could evolve in any way to help the situation he was in.
Okay.
So you try to drown him, put him in a tank full of water, he grows gills out of butt fuck nowhere. Throw him off a plane, he grows wings. Throw him in a vat of lava, he becomes fireproof. That's his whole gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And so I forgot when, but he ended up having an interaction with the Hulk. And they were like, yo, Darwin, like, your whole ability is evolution. What the fuck do we do here?
Yeah.
And Darwin was like, the best solution right now is to get the fuck away.
Go. Just leave. Like.
The best course of action as a man who can evolve is to fucking run. That was the best course of action. And that's the applicable level of threat that I apply to things like Goku.
Yeah. Pretty much like because like I said, I've seen too many battles. Okay, so we'll close out on this. I saw this thing the other day that put me on the floor laughing. It showed a girl in scrubs, and she's wearing like her scrubs are Goku's uniform. Right? And it says not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear gis, right? And somebody wrote it at the bottom, yeah, but it took her 4 episodes to finish my X-ray. I couldn't help laughing, and my homeboy chimed in. He was like, yeah, I can see it right now. She's screaming the whole time, half an episode just to push the button. I was like,
all that fucking filler on powering up.
You know.
God damn it.
I had to explain to a friend of mine because they were like, I don't get it. And I was like, if you ever watch an episode of Dragon Ball Z, it takes them 8 episodes to get through one fight. Like it's just and next time on Dragon Ball Z and it goes on for 4 or 5 episodes before they finally get to the finale of the fight. And so it's just that over exaggerated thing.
You got 2 episodes with the feel out, 1 with Goku getting down, another with the pull up, 3 more on the fight itself.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man! Now the Cell fights were good, even though they went out over. But Yu-Gi-Oh did the same thing. One Yu-Gi-Oh match.
Okay, true.
One match of the monster cards would take like 4 episodes. Like, I'm like, really? We still playing this game? Y'all ain't run out of cards yet? Like, y'all just can't keep drawing.
$11. What is this?
y'all keep talking. Like, play.
Pull the fucking card.
I want the dude on the sideline. Well, one of y'all kill him, motherfucker, please, so we can get on. Tournament's over. Everybody else didn't went home. Y'all still playing this match. Oh,
get out of defense mode. All right,
man. So we'll close it on that. We'll come back for the second half, with some wrestling. You're listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on the 4Aces Presents Radio Network. Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you may find your favorite podcasts.
Hey, listener. Dutch here from Voice from the Underground, the podcast. My co-host and I want to invite you to check out our little corner of the podcast verse. At Voice from the Underground, we talk about all the crazy happening around us and try to make a little bit of sense out of the nonsense with little to no results. If the idea of hearing 3 semi-intelligent, outspoken nerds talk about politics, social issues, current events, sports, movies, pretty much anything that we decide to talk about because, well, it's our show, appeals to you, grab your shovel and come on down to the underground, and then consult a qualified psychotherapist. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, just not where you buy your weed.
Voice from the Underground.
So, what's up? Steve Fingerstyles here, the host of the podcast, spelled D-A, of course. Tune in each and every week to hear what pisses me off, what angers me, what I make fun of, and of course, my crazy rants. I also have incompetent co-hosts, cool guests, and a silent producer that sucks. So what more do you need from a podcast? You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and the Pod Bros Network. Peace.
From the galactic depths of the comic book universe comes the ghosts of the stratosphere, ready to galvanize and energize your mind with the latest of comic book news and reviews. And why are you stopping me? Yes, that's much better. Hi, this is Andy Larson for Ghosts of the Stratosphere. Join me every week along with my co-hosts Rob Stewart and Chad Smith, as well as a cavalcade of fantastic comic book guests, as we dish out heaping helpings of the greatest and latest of comic book news and reviews. New shows posted every Tuesday with bonus shows every first Friday of the month. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher under Ghosts of the Stratosphere, as well as on our website, www.gotstratosphere.com. Hope to see you soon, folks.
All right. And we are back. What's up, y'all?
Hello. Back again. This time, not with some comics, not with the 21st night of September. We're here with some fucking sweaty men.
Not the sweaty men.
All right. What are we digging into first?
All right. Let's dig into some AEW.
Yes.
The one and only
All right.
Rusev / Miro has now debuted with AEW.
After he confirmed that he did get an offer from Impact as well.
Did he? Awesome.
Yeah, he said he got an offer from Impact, which would have been cool, but I don't know about you, but I'm real happy to see him in AEW, and I actually quite like the fucking gimmick that they have going with him right now.
Yeah, I think it'll work. I think he's like kind of like similar to Damian Sandow. I think he can sell whatever he's given. And so
yeah.
I think he'll make it work. And good luck to him in AEW. Like I said, and a lot of people don't understand this, and a lot of AEW fans take offense when I say this. Sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a small pond than it is to be a big fish in an ocean. Because you get to shine. You could do like Drew McIntyre did. Go to AEW. Work out your contract. Have fun there. Work your limited schedule. You know what I'm saying? He's already said there's no ill will between him and WWE, despite his promo. I'm going to go off of what he said himself on Twitter, not in character, than I am going to go off of something he said on AEW in character. Because I think that AEW tells, and Tony Khan and them tell them to go out there and talk shit about WWE because it riles up the AEW crowd. Okay? But Miro himself on Twitter said he has zero issue with WWE and how he was released or how he was used, etc. Go to AEW. Be the great singles competitor that you are. Become a world champion a couple times over for AEW.
Prove to them that they lost out on someone's shit.
Exactly. And then, trust me, you'll come back. You were already making money. Rusev was one of the top 10 paid athletes that WWE had. So he was making good money at WWE. You come back to good money, probably even better money, and a better chance at a main event push. If you've already been seen out in the world wearing a heavyweight championship, WWE, and you come in with that type of popularity from somewhere else, WWE is more likely to put a heavyweight championship or at least put you in the picture.
It's literally the Drew McIntyre effect.
Uh-huh.
The best example of that. Literally stopped what he was doing, got into shape, won world championships in Evolve, and Impact, I believe in ICW as well. And in that very moment, they were like, all right, maybe we fucked up a little bit, and they got him right back.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, all ways around, this is going fucking great for Rusev, or Miro now. And I like the gimmick. I'm ready for the in-ring work. I don't know about you, but the idea of a match between Eddie Kingston and Miro was completely unforeseeable 9 months ago. Now matches like that are more than possible. So I'm hyped to see that shit. I am. And like Chris Jericho said, I don't know if you saw what he said in his stream, but Jericho had said that, he sent him out there and he was going to let him say what he had to say about WWE and Vince. And fucking Rusev, being Rusev, was like, oh, I'm going to go out there and tell him to shove the brass rings up his ass. So I'm pretty all about Rusev being there. Very good. Sweet.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He was over. He's one of the rare ones, like John Moxley, that I will never say that the reason that that their problems in WWE had more to do with them than it had to do with their booking. I can't say that Miro was booked badly. Because let's be honest, Rusev went on like a year-long winning streak and held the U.S. title for most of that time. A year-plus long winning streak and held the title for most of that time before dropping it to John Cena at WrestleMania.
Everything not associated with Summer Rae and the Lashley Lana angle was fucking great for Rusev.
Exactly. Well, no, you're forgetting the Nations. That horrible clip that they had with him and Wade Barrett and Sheamus and Cesaro, like
Del Rio.
Yeah, League of Nations, like that was just stupid. But that you're right though. But here's what's funny is that was a shitty concept that they kind of made cool for a hot minute. Because of how good they are.
Their angle at Mania 32 wasn't bad.
But he kept consistent work, and man, I don't understand why people say he was. There are certain people I don't understand how people say they were treated so horribly. People like FTR. Okay, they didn't get to do the shit that they wanted to do, but you were in the main event picture. You were on TV every week. You were getting a check on a regular for a good 5-year period of time. How can you bitch about that? When there are literally pro wrestlers out there nowadays who would beg for that much consistent work.
Yeah. With FTR, I personally account that mostly simply to just bad luck with how the injuries lined up and how everything lined up after they left NXT and how they came up. For the most part, I think they had big plans for them. And even after they came back at that point, other things were in play. Mm-hmm. That being said, FTR is the fucking shit and they deserve to be on top. But I'm not going to sit here and say that FTR was the most downtrodden tag team ever because the push they got in NXT was fucking astronomical. And if I'm not mistaken, they were either 2 or 3-time tag team champions on Raw.
I was going to say, they held the titles 5 different times in WWE. You know how many tag teams out there will give their left nut to hold the champion, to hold any one of those championships, NXT, Raw, or SmackDown once? And y'all held them all?
What's those 5 times?
Not total between all 3 brands, they held 5 tag team championships. I said that to somebody the other day, and they go, 5 times. They go, but they just gave those pushes to them because they didn't want them to leave.
What?
Hello?
What the fuck?
Yeah, so here's the thing about it. I told them, I was like, first of all, the NXT push, they didn't give it to them because they wanted to leave. They gave it to them because it was their time for a push. They had earned it. I was like, yeah, and I can admit to you at least one time on Raw, and probably the SmackDown titles were given to them solely to try to keep them with the company. But here's the deal. I look at it from a different angle. And maybe it's, like I said, I'm 5 weeks away from getting my business degree. Maybe because I'm looking at it more like a businessman than anything else. I saw I saw FTR saying, we're not getting a chance to prove ourselves. We're not getting a chance to prove ourselves. So we want out of the company. So the company said, all right, here's a chance to prove yourselves. Here's the titles. Now go do something with them. And they failed to connect on multiple occasions with the WWE Universe. There was just a disconnect there. They connected with NXT fans, but the main roster fans, they just didn't have that connection with them. Like, I'll put it like this. The fans that were fans of them in NXT were still fans of them on the main roster, but they couldn't grow their fan base on the main roster. They had issues with growing their fan base.
To give you an in-person example, I had seen FTR in person. Watched them work a match in NXT. Small-time show, right? Their music hits. Oh, shit. Are you good? Your audio's fucking up. Hello?
We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was at a house show, right? FTR comes out. Crowd goes fucking bonkers. Goes fucking ballistic. Their theme, the Say Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's chanting along with that. The song goes with it. Everyone says yeah with it. Everyone's going fucking bonkers. The revival looks fucking huge, right?
Wow.
Year and a half later, I went to a Raw house show. They come out, and it is almost dead silent.
And this is what I try to
That
explain.
right there is what you mean, right?
Exactly. And I don't think it was the way that they were written. A lot of people are like, well, that's just because of how they were written. They were made to do stupid things. Wait a minute. First and foremost, the one thing that y'all keep pointing to, the whole comedy bit that they did when they were in a feud with the Usos, they've gone on record and said that they enjoyed that they liked doing that they liked working with the Usos. So I don't want to hear any fans bitching about it and calling it a stupid gimmick when they themselves said that they were okay with it. But when they were given an opportunity to have the spotlight, they just didn't connect. And sometimes it's like that. There are very rarely guys that get let go from WWE and they connect with the WWE universe. Very rarely. Damian Sandow was one of those guys that he connected and did everything that they told him to do, but at the end of the day, they ended up letting him go because creative just had no clue what to do with him, which is what sucked. But everything that they threw at him when he was there, he point blank and simple handled it and got it over and did his thing. Most of the guy, Miro, I can say the same thing. Almost anything they gave him, he got over. Okay? He should have gotten more of a push than what he did, but he just wasn't willing to wait his turn, so he went somewhere where he doesn't have to wait his turn. So at the end of the day, I don't blame Miro for going where he went. My whole thing is that the fact that a lot of these ex-wrestlers feel the need to talk down on WWE when some of it was their own fault. Like Zack Ryder, yeah, dude, you had your moment in the sun when you first started your thing, and I love you to death. But eventually your shit wore off, and people just weren't that into you. It wasn't bad writing. People just lost interest.
It sucks when it is a mix of that problem and the ye old WWE problem where they don't strike when the iron is hot.
Mm-hmm. They don't. Miro should have been at least a one-time WWE champion. When Rusev Day was at its peak, he should have been in the title hunt for the picture at that for the title at that point.
Never forget how fucking hot Rusev Day was.
Yeah.
Never forget how white hot Rusev Day was that year, and how Vince McMahon looked at that and thought, "They're mocking you."
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest drop balls. Like they dropped the fucking ball there hard with that. But I'm happy he's in AEW now.
Yeah. Oh, and let me call this out real quick. We'll jump real quick over to Raw. I got a text from this young man earlier this week that reminded my old ass of something that I had predicted that I completely forgot. I completely forgot that I had predicted that Cedric Alexander was going to be the one to turn on Ricochet and Apollo Crews and join the Hurt Business. I completely forgot about
Hurt
that.
Business was even called the Hurt Business.
But yeah, that's the big news off of Raw was him turning on them and joining the Hurt Business. The other big news was this Monday on Raw it's supposed to be the big dude from Raw Underground, the dude Dom Impata or something like that, taking on Braun Strowman.
The previously Babatunde.
Yeah. Oh, and did you hear that they announced who Retribution is, basically?
Oh, they did. They actually. I heard that it was a bunch of people from like it's a gimmick of the Black Friday thing. But I do have a big prediction on all the people. I don't know. I don't know if they were like revealed or not for sure. But I've had a big prediction for a while.
All right, I can guarantee you. WWE. Here it is.
What?
Here it is. Retribution members finally revealed by
wait.
by
let
WWE
me get
Universe.
so clear then. All right. So like for the past 3 weeks, I've been saying it's like it's Caden Carter, maybe Dio Madden, Donovan. That's going to be Dijakovic, Mia Yim.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't break it down to the last person, but I have a feeling that it's Dijakovic and Dio Madden are the two bigger dudes that we've been seeing a lot of.
Yeah, okay, so the 5 that they think are the core members, the ones they gave, which, by the way, Retribution is now a Raw-only stable, which minimizes the chances of The Miz being a part of the crew. But the 5 that were believed to be during the video message from this week on Raw are Dominic Dijakovic, Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Dio Madden, and Shane Thorne.
Shane Thorne. Oh, that makes so much sense because they've been building him up for the past few weeks for no fucking reason, dude.
Yep. But yeah. So, like, yeah, man.
Okay.
I was actually, the name that got me the most excited about that was Dio Madden.
Yeah, me too. I'm really into that.
Because it clicked from when he was on commentary. I was like, oh, yeah, that's dude that they got his butt beat, huh, that Joe stepped up for. Yeah, all right, bring him in. But they were saying also that there's a chance that Kevin Owens, or no, who was it? No, that there's a chance. Aleister Black accused Kevin Owens of being the leader of Retribution.
Oh, that'd be fucking... that would be cool if Aleister Black with that M. Bison fucking eye patch was the villain. That would be some dope shit. I'd be into that.
That would be.
I'd be into that. But no, man. That'd be cool because if you remember, when they pulled Dio Madden off commentary, they explicitly said that it was going to be to train him for some in-ring work.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
I'm with that.
All right, so moving on to moving on to SmackDown. My brother, they have now announced finally what role Paul E. Dangerously, otherwise known as Paul Heyman, will be playing for alongside Roman Reigns. They are not friends; they are business associates. Paul Heyman is the special counsel to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Oh, I like that.
That
sounds so fucking dope.
Only thing I'm not liking is exactly like I said with that first promo. Roman, shut your mouth, stand there and look tough. Let Paul do the vocal work.
Yeah, like, you know, like that gimmick of all like big tribes is that there's the head honcho motherfucker, and he always has like one scraggly little like sorceress dude that's his little lackey.
Yep.
That's how I see Heyman in this, and quite frankly, I dig the fuck out of that.
Roman Reigns is Jafar, and Heyman is his little bird.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Man, nah, like, and I do like them. I do like them together, and I do like how they're spinning everything with the Roman versus Jey Uso. Like, this is what I don't get about people being like, man, WWE doesn't know how to write stories. All their stories suck. Really, man? Because some of the shit I've been seeing recently has been pretty damn good.
Jey Uso versus Reigns is actually pretty fucking compelling.
Yeah.
As of right now, it's actually going incredibly well, in my opinion.
So is the potential of Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee. I've heard multiple... I saw this dude get drugged in this one wrestling group because he goes, yeah, man, because they were talking about Will Hobbs, which, congratulations to him, is now all elite. But,
buddy.
He's basically, Will Hobbs is a cross between Big E and Brian Cage.
And it's exactly as good as you think it is.
Yes, and but they were like, yeah, now they're gonna do the Hobbs exactly what, or no, he goes, Will Hobbs is gonna be what Keith Lee should have been when he hit the main roster, but WWE fucked him up, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Keith Lee has been immediately inserted into the middle of the WWE Championship picture. He got his first ever win over Randy Orton. Like,
he did in 2 weeks what most people dream of doing. Keep in mind, this is Randy fucking Orton, the king of literally vetoing ideas that he doesn't fucking like, i.e. not going over.
Yep.
This is Randy fucking Orton. And still, like, I'm not going to sit here and say Keith Lee is the best fucking thing on the main roster, but you can't say that they haven't put the spotlight on him right away.
Exactly. And they haven't given him a chance. And they're like, these promos that they're giving him are just... I've thought all of Keith Lee's promos have been good. And they've been very in line with what his promos were when he was in NXT.
He's stretched his style just a little bit more than before, but it's not even bad.
No. I'm still basking in his glory. All day.
Yeah.
The limitless one.
Do it again.
Shoot, it baffles me, but with people's images of WWE. But at the end of the day, what they're doing with that, what's going to be an ambulance match now, I think it's going to end up being a triple threat ambulance match at Night of Champions. Right now, they've got it set up that it's either going to be either or Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, or Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. It's going to be either or, but it could be. I think it's going to end up being all three.
Yeah, they're definitely building this up as a feud that isn't between just Drew and Randy or Keith and Drew. It's a big three-way dance. And so far, they've done a good job of meshing that all in with each of them individually, while not making any one of them look particularly fucking weak. Randy looks like this disgusting, slippery heel. Drew comes off as this knight in shining armor kicking people's fucking heads off, and Keith Lee comes off as fucking Superman. It's all done and came off exactly as they intended, and all of them look like straight badasses still, which is really good considering we've seen all three of them get laid the fuck out hard over the past 2 months.
Yep. And also another prediction of mine is becoming a spoiler. Or not a spoiler, but another prediction of mine is coming true. I said as soon as I saw Sami Zayn come back on Friday Night SmackDown that there was going to be a triple threat match at Night of Champions. And as of last night, it's officially announced that there will be a triple threat ladder match at Night of Champions for the Intercontinental Championship between Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. I hope they have bolted down the roof on that place because it's about to get blown off.
Exactly. I'm telling you, man, mark my fucking words, bro. Mark my fucking words. You and me, of all people, know what El Generico can do in that fucking ring. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't put the shit down. He hasn't brought it back like he has in NXT in 2014. He hasn't gotten to that level of work rate yet on the main roster as he did there. He came near it once in that 5-way elimination match a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, this is the night when he's going to pull out all the fucking stops. El Generico, the boy Sami Zayn, knows how to make shit work in a multi-man match.
Yep.
And so I think this is the match where we're going to see him wrestle his ass off alongside those two men.
And let me say this, and just to further buff up Sami Zayn, I love AEW. I've yet to see a match in AEW that has yet to even beat Cesaro versus Sami Zayn in NXT 2 out of 3 falls match. I believe that was 2015?
2014.
2014. That was one of the most amazing and well-wrestled matches I've ever seen in my entire life.
Easily.
Chain wrestling, mat wrestling, all of it was there.
The storytelling of the fact that Cesaro has whooped his ass for months and months, and it was about Sami Zayn still not giving the fuck up against that force, against getting beaten and rubbed on the floor for months now, and getting disrespected, and the ending where they finally respect each other is I cannot put over that match enough. That match, go back and watch it. Do yourself one big favor.
Now, here's some weird news for you. Okay, so it was reported a few weeks back, and I know you've probably been following this story too, that one of the WWE superstars that's currently on the main roster did not plan on re-signing when his contract was up. Well,
and
you know who they? Did you hear about the reveal of who they think it is?
They actually had a few people in mind. From what I heard, everyone had lined up. They were like, "Oh, it's going to be Chad Gable, or it's going to be Ricochet, or it's going to be I forgot who." But I remember those two people off the top of my head. Everyone was talking about those two guys. They thought it was them.
A lot of the sites that I've been reading have been basically saying, "Yeah, it's Ricochet." Like they've pretty much confirmed about as much as they can that it's Ricochet. If he does leave, once again, I can understand. Ricochet is one of those guys that would probably be better suited to be an NXT lifer. Not because he didn't connect with the main roster, but just because I don't think he'll ever have that Daniel Bryan type connection, which is what got Daniel Bryan pushed beyond where Ricochet is now. You know, like pushed beyond the mid-card.
Yeah.
And unless I don't think he would be happy just staying in a mid-carder. Because he probably feels like he's a main eventer, and I can see why. He's talented. But he just doesn't have that following.
Yeah, you're right. He is... It's even weird to even think about him being on the main roster as an idea, because we all know Ricochet is almost 100% the uncrowned king of underground flippy shit.
Yeah.
Which is
not really,
without exaggeration, underground flippy shit, and that's not even an insult. But he is very well known to be a very niche style worker, even in the hardcore crowds. You know,
right?
So it was even a big risk, in my opinion, to even put him on the main roster.
I think he was definitely better suited for NXT.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely someone that fits a lot better there, and I would like to see him there. But I don't know if you saw, but he actually did put out a tweet denying that claim.
Really?
Put out a tweet, and he was like, "Y'all need to stop fucking like looking for shit to put on headlines and put in dirt sheets. I'm not going anywhere."
Nice! I would love to see him stay, because really, I'll be honest with you, I thought that as much as he was having issues with getting the following, I've thought that the connection with him and Cedric Alexander is there. You know, as far as a tag team, or him and Apollo Crews. You know, whoever you want to put him with. I would rather see him with Crews because I like the big guy, small guy look. And I didn't tell you that. Watching AEW today, I figured out that's my problem with Private Party.
They are too similar in size, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they work a very similar style, don't they?
And for me, to me, it's not an issue. Like, I don't hate them. Same thing with FTR. I don't hate them, but I think it's kind of the reason why I'm not exactly that drawn into them. Like, I prefer the big guy, small guy. You know, or I prefer big guy, small guy, or big guy, big guy.
Yeah, I always loved me a Haas tag team. Like, yeah. I very much look back fondly on the days of Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh, Earthquake and Tugboat.
Right. Or Earthquake and fucking Typhoon.
Typhoon, sorry. Yeah, those are my boys right there.
Like,
You know, even when you look
Tugboat
at...
was his other gimmick.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Even if you look at the tag team of Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith was a little bit more yoked than Dynamite Kid was.
Oh wait, no, fucking Davey Boy Smith was a broad-chested motherfucker.
You know, but it gave you, despite the fact that both of them are around the same height, both of them it gave you that image of one was bigger and one was smaller.
That is a very good appeal to the Street Profits too, huh?
Yeah. You have Angelo, who's the bigger dude, and then you have Montez, who's the smaller dude. Another not taking a shot at AEW, but they make these statements. Sorry, I've never seen anything on the AEW that's better than Bret Hart versus Davey Boy Smith for the Intercontinental title in England for SummerSlam. Have not seen
I literally went back and reviewed that match again, like just the other fucking week.
Tell me that match isn't one of the best wrestling matches you've ever seen. Like people just don't get it. Like when you make statements like AEW is better than WWE's ever been, you're out your fucking mind. Stop making these bold statements that you cannot back up.
See, like you know the whole story behind the match too, right?
Oh yeah, they're brothers, and fucking Davey Boy Smith is married to Bret Hart's sister, and oh, bro, I remember all the build up.
No. Even behind that, you don't. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but I'm gonna give you the spiel. All right, so Davey Boy Smith and Bret Hart spent weeks putting that match together. Right, every bit of it, every spot. Every little bit of that match, it was very meticulously put together. Not a big surprise, right?
Right.
And so, middle of the match, I mean, they start up the match, they lock up, they do what they got to do, and then you see Bret put a headlock, roll into a snapmare, has Davey Boy down in a headlock, right? You can see Bret lean down and call something, right?
Yeah.
And so what we find out is what he said was Davey Boy Smith was like straight up, I have been doing drugs with Neidhart for the past 5 days. I don't remember how this fucking match was supposed to go, Bret. I'm fucked. And Bret, being Bret motherfucking Hart, was like, I got you, Hammy. And he carried his ass through that whole match, doing all the spots, remembering them all on his own, because Bret is that motherfucker.
Bret Hart is. And that's what we're missing, a Bret Hart in today's wrestling. Somebody who puts that much work and effort into every single match that they go out there and do. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, the one where he passes out in the sharpshooter. Come on, y'all. Like, But at the end of the day, ultimately, I'm glad that, like I said, Ricochet would be staying with WWE. I don't think WWE lacks talent in any direction. Like, I think NXT is so deep as far as talent that WWE has an almost infinite pool to pull from.
If I'm being honest, NXT's talent pool is too fucking deep for its own good right now.
It is.
Like they have so many good stars and such a little time gap to showcase them.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man. All right.
I'll say it like this.
Let's see.
If I hear anybody else put MJF on the Miz's level, I'm gonna slap him. I think I said that last week, but I'm gonna bring it back to that. Not even comparable. Other than the fact that they both wear scarves, and they're both white, that's about where the comparison's in.
Look, man. Like, oh wait, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I wasn't saying anything.
As the biggest Miz mark in all of the West Hemisphere of the United States, there isn't a single fucking promo in all of MJF's career that will ever, and I mean fucking ever, come anywhere near on the Talking Smack 2016 promo of The Miz.
Yeah. Nowhere near it. And hey, that was him shooting. Like that wasn't even him like in character. Like he was straight shooting that. Are you talking about the one with Daniel Bryan?
That was all off the cuff. Yep, the whole one that was all off the fucking cuff.
Before Daniel Bryan came back from the injury, yeah, they lit up that feud. Like, and think about that. That's one thing that people don't understand. The Daniel Bryan Miz feud took like over 5 years.
Oh no, it's been more like 8.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It started back when when Daniel Bryan was a character on NXT.
Started in 2011.
You know, so I'm like, y'all need to stop. Like the WWE knows what they doing. But yeah, don't ever put MJF on the level of the Miz. The Miz has main evented WrestleMania, and you know what? And deserved it at the time that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like the man was hot as fire at the time. So like I tell people, no, don't try to put that little boy on Miz's level. I'm better.
Not comparable.
Stop it.
Flipping off kids isn't being a heel. There's my note for the day.
Yeah. And so here's one last thing. You said Eddie Kingston, right? I was reading an article about him where he was talking about. He said his mama is the one that told him to go to WWE instead of AEW. Well, after reading the article and seeing what was going on, yeah, I would have told him, even if I was his daddy, I'd have told him to go to AEW instead of WWE. Not because AEW is a better company, but because WWE was offering him coaching, like he would have been working behind the scenes in NXT. Trainer.
They were offering one of the trainer jobs that A-Train does.
Right. They were offering him a trainer job. They weren't offering him an in-ring contract.
Fuck all that.
So I'm like, of course, yeah. But the article tried to make it seem like, oh, his mama, even Eddie Kingston's mama likes AEW more than WWE. Nah, that was the in-ring opportunity. That was the opportunity to be on TV, to be seen.
Yeah.
As a trainer for WWE, you're not going to get much TV time. You're going to be teaching promo school, and you're going to be, doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Lance Storm is a trainer right now, and as much as I do love Storm, Eddie Kingston has much more left to give to this business than a backstage trainer role like Lance Storm.
Exactly.
No offense. Lance Storm is one of the best technicians to ever fucking wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
But Eddie Kingston has a lot more left to give, not only as a wrestler, but as a character.
I was going to say, the Eddie Kingston character has not hit TV yet. And he at least deserved the opportunity with his rep on the indies and all that. He deserved to have the opportunity to bring it to the main squad and see, you know what I'm saying, to the main level and see what happens. So congratulations to him, but let's not make it out to seem like he chose AEW. I can guarantee you, if WWE was talking about bringing him in and working him and giving him TV time either in NXT or in on the main roster, I think he signs with WWE because their offer probably would have been a lot more lucrative. I don't understand why everybody thinks that Tony Khan is going to throw millions upon millions of dollars at everybody just to keep them from going to WWE. He doesn't have money like that. Vince does. Vince can afford to overpay you by $3 million a year because he makes $200 million a year in profit. Tony Khan and them can't afford to pay you. No matter how many billions they're worth, Tony Khan and Saeed Khan cannot afford to pay wrestlers $3-4 million over like what Ted Turner was doing. He can't afford to do that because they've already seen that that's a script to going out of business. WWE can afford to do that.
Talk about the death of WCW real quick. Rule 1 in that book is overpaying their wrestlers.
Yep. Oh, but you want to talk about one of the most frugal men ever back in the 90s when he was collecting all that talent? Do you realize that the first contract that the Big Show signed was 10 years for $10 million?
Yeah, no, when they signed the Giant, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, they locked that nigga up for $1 million a year. By the time year 5 or 8 came rolled around, it's like, wait a minute, dude. These youngsters over here making $3 million. You still got me on one? I'm pretty sure there was some merchandising to it as well.
Did you have you seen what Mark Henry's first ever contract looked like? They had him signed for, I think, 15 years. And it was a metric fuck ton of money out the gate. I forget the number. But I remember vividly that Mark Henry's first ever contract was a 15-year contract, and it was for a metric fuck ton of money, and he has lived out the entirety of that shit from day one to the final day of that.
And see, that's the thing I don't get is like, I understand. I agree with the people who say that WWE needs to stop treating their employees like independent contractors and start treating them like employees and offer them medical insurance and all the rest of that. I understand as a businessman why WWE doesn't want to do it. But even though I think that they should, I genuinely think that they should. But I also think that there's a lot of guys who've managed to navigate that waters and come out successful. I'm pretty sure The Rock charges Vince probably damn near a couple of million just to make an appearance. Unless he's just so rich that he just wants to be nice and just show up. Other than that, I'm pretty sure, he's charging Vince a pretty penny to make an appearance. I know Ric Flair is. I've heard Rick's rates, and that was 6 years ago. I heard Rick tell a crowd his rates. $150,000 if you want me to take a bump. Or no, $500,000 if you want me to take a bump. Yeah. $150,000 if you want me to get in the ring. God damn, dude. So
we know how that dude plays the fucking game.
But hey, man, that's why the dude's got more money than he knows what to do with.
I mean, that is fair. Given if I was Ric Flair, knowing someone would 100% pay me that money to take a single bump. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. So, but yeah, but
definitely.
At the end of the day, I say that both companies have a lot to be proud of. Both companies have a lot to be ashamed of. But I'm just glad that there's more than just, more local wrestling, I should say. There's New Japan, there's AAA. I don't mind watching Impact and all that, but I just don't have access to it anymore and don't feel like digging through the internet to go find episodes. So, but ROH, New Japan both put on great shows. They have great rosters, but we needed something a little bit more high profile to really push WWE. And I feel like WWE has gotten better since AEW has started pushing them. I believe that they've turned out that Adam Cole versus Keith Lee. That was an amazing match. From bell to bell, that was an amazing match.
Yeah, Cole versus Lee is going to go down for me as one of the best matches of the year, I believe.
And so people have to get it around their heads that WWE is going nowhere. AEW is only going to continue to grow, but AEW will never put WWE out of business. So we're going to live with them both. So learn to enjoy them both.
Yeah. He's right. Listen to that shit. Now, wait. Let's see. Let me talk about UK.
Okay. The floor is yours, my friend.
Let's see. Okay. I was able to catch the premiere of NXT UK. Probably a little bit confusing because NXT UK has already fucking started, right? Nah, it's back. The moment COVID hit, UK was shut the fuck down completely. Rightfully so, as you can see, the UK is much more stricter about how these are being ran. But that being said, it's finally made its return with a litany of banger fucking matches. We had the tag team champions of Gallus fighting off Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, two of the best baby faces that they have there. Nice. Two dudes that are just really easy to get behind. And on the other hand, you have Gallus. You have Mark Coffey, who is here while his brother is suspended. Joe Coffey is still, I believe, suspended from allegations of just being kind of an asshole.
Damn.
And then, yeah. So it's Mark Coffey and it's Wolfgang who are two very large, very hairy, very European men. Did a great fucking match, of course. They're always good in ring, with Gallus coming out on top. There was an angle between Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray, and you know how I talk about how there isn't very many wrestlers that I can hate more than Mia Yim? Never mind. Kaylee Ray is now on that list too. Anti-Kaylee Ray gang. Kaylee Ray is the current NXT UK Women's Champion, and it's quite disappointing seeing how much of a shit champion she is, especially comparing her to Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley, the previous NXT UK Women's Champions.
Damn.
So I hope Piper Niven nabs that shit. They announced that there's going to be a mid-card belt for the UK brand of NXT now. And they're starting it with a tournament, the NXT UK Heritage Cup Tournament. I don't remember most of the competitors, but I know for a fact Trent Seven, Dave Mastiff, A-Kid, I believe, and a few other people are all going to be fighting for it. The stipulations are crazy cool. There's all of the matches are 3 stages of hell. There are time limits as well. So it's going to be a big fucking banger. There is one wild card in the tournament, meaning there's one person that's going to be either debuting as a new signee or coming from a different brand, which is going to be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
So I'm all about that mid-card championship. And the main event was Noam Dar, now with this long, curly-haired bun, which is pretty funny looking on him, but it's pretty cool, against the goddamn boy Ilya Dragunov. I talked about him a long while back, but the goddamn boy Ilya Dragunov is back in the ring, rearing up for the big match against Walter. Yeah, it was a really fucking great match they had. But he is rearing up for a big feud with Walter. It's looking like he's going to be the one to challenge Walter for the UK Championship. And the match between Noam Dar and Dragunov was fucking amazing. If I could recommend just going back and watching any match on the show, I recommend just going back and watching that one singular match. It's a really, really good match with Dragunov pulling 6-1 lines out of his ass all over the place. The Gotch clutch suplex looking like it broke Noam Dar in half. Nice. And then Noam Dar doing cheeky heel shit with throwing Dragunov into the ref. And it ends with some Imperium talkery. So I'm really hyped for UK starting back up. The Imperium faction and Walter as a singles act is one of my favorite things. I love Ilya Dragunov, and apparently Triple H personally is really behind him.
Nice.
I'm all about that shit. The tag division is looking great. I get to see Trent Seven in the tournament, which is going to be fucking awesome. As a whole, I think UK is rearing up for a really, really good set of shows.
And like I said, I don't understand how people can say there's not good wrestling going on in WWE right now. But anyway,
it's just called Look Harder Than the Fucking B shows.
Exactly. But needless to say, one last big congratulations before we sign off to the one, the only, the Prince, Finn Balor, who won the NXT Championship, as we now have an NXT champion, and his name is Finn Balor. He defeated Adam Cole.
Making his way and making history now as one of only 3 two-time NXT champions.
Yep.
With the other 2 being the artist Shinsuke Nakamura and the best fucking heel in the business, Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah. But I was eclectic to see Balor take that home. I like the narrative that Balor is like is the Cena of NXT, that he has been, that he is the motherfucker that has held it down. He's held the belt longer than anyone else, and he is just that dude. I'm with that shit 100%. And I would have, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been, I don't know about you, but I would have been pretty upset if Cole walks away with that belt.
Yeah. We just saw him hold the belt for fucking ever and a day. It's not really time yet. He needs to stay away from the belt for a little bit. Maybe go after the North American Championship. Maybe have a feud with Damian Priest. My boy is the North American champion. Oh, and by the way, I just recently posted 4 videos in our First Gen Inc. Webpage, or First Gen Xers webpage, of every member of the Dark family except for Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes grabbing their titles. My main character, Damian Dark, took the NXT title from Adam Cole. My daughter, Nora Dark, took the title from Charlotte Flair. And Keith Lee retained his title against Johnny Gargano. But Cameron Grimes and
Gold Capital.
Oh yeah. I'll say Cameron Grimes and Damian Priest failed to pick up the tag team championships from Mustache Mountain. So now I had Damian Priest leave and come back with the Demon Finn Balor.
Oh fuck!
As his tag team partner, and they're going to go after the tag team championships now.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
But
I like that.
Either way, we're bringing home the tag team championships to the Dark Family faction as well. We'll hold every title in NXT. I wish they could give me an on-screen shot of the entire faction, everybody holding up their belts. That would be kind of dope, but I can't make that happen.
That's the dopest shit. I miss the suite that they had for Raw vs. SmackDown 2011. They had a big suite where you could do shots like that, and it was so cool, man.
I wish. But all right, man.
I'll give you a peek into my universe mode when I can see you again. But that's some good shit. I like it.
For sure. All right, man. So we're 2 minutes over our time. We're at 2:02.
Ooh, shit.
So we're gonna say our goodbyes, guys. We'll catch you hopefully next Sunday. Back here, 5 o'clock Sundays. Catch the Saint on with Now versus Then after we are. Dirty Talk on Monday. Wednesdays, Kelly Kell with Kings and Queens of Porn and Lip Gloss and Mics. Thursdays with Miss Toy. This upcoming Friday, Double K's Classroom, talking NBA playoffs, upcoming MLB playoffs, and the NFL season. And then Saturday, Mr. Deacon Experience. And yeah. And then back to us, hopefully on Sunday. And tomorrow, go back and listen to West Coast Bias. We should have one today. All right. Anything last words for him?
You know how it goes, my people. My people. Sports are starting back up. It's officially fall in 2 days. Make sure you sit down and you set out some milk and cookies for Earth, Wind, and Fire on the 21st night of September. You be safe, my people.